All right. We is
It says the
live.
room is locked.
It says
All
the
right.
room is live, but we shared the room to live. So the live should be, I'm finna go to my page right now.
Okay.
The live should be public. The room itself is locked. It says
Got
Whitney is live in Messenger room just now, and it is public.
Okay. Well, hello.
So now we ready. Well, hello. Let me put out some on the computer. Okay. Well, hello. We're going to wait till some people's come in here.
Good night. I don't even know what to say. Is it good morning? Good night. Hey,
It's
everybody.
not good night till the call ends. We got to wait till the call
Right.
ends for the good night. Good evening.
Hey. Good evening, my friends.
Good evening. Welcome.
So,
this is where the magic happens.
Exactly. Okay, so I guess I'll kick it off. So, I know we're gonna wait for some people to come in to join our live, but I still wanted to take a moment to introduce ourselves so that you all can know what you or who you're talking to. So, my name is Crystal, and on the other side is my best friend, my left hand, my ace boon coon, Whitney, and we are having a Saturday night in quarantine edition. And so me and my friend, we crazy, and we decided to go live so we can have everybody come and join in on the fun. So we're going to talk about a lot today. We're talking about relationships. We're talking about love. We're talking about anything that we want to talk about tonight.
All that.
We invite everybody to the conversation. If you have some thoughts, opinions, please feel free to jump in. If you want to say something, comment, like, post, whatever you want to do, this is your
Let us know you're here.
Yeah.
Let us see who's in here. Say hi.
Yeah. We would love to know who's in here because that lets us know we are not alone in our rooms.
In our room.
In our room.
I would also like to preface this conversation by telling you there's probably going to be a lot of inside jokes.
Right.
Just don't ask questions and just go with it. Okay? All right.
I'm trying to see if I can share this to my page too. So give me 1 second. I know I'm not looking
Tree
at the camera.
said hi. Hey, sister. Tree said hi.
Hi, Trees. How are you, hon?
Y'all, this is my best friend in the whole wide world, Crystal. Crystal, we're not going to go into middle names, but Crystal. And and in our spare time, we do like walk logs on the beach. Walk logs. And we like walk logs on the beach. and a bottle a day. That'd be nice. That'd be all right.
Exactly. So I hope that y'all come ready to laugh and have some fun because tonight is not an uptight night. We are just chilling in our house. I know I got me a little something to drink. I'm drinking on a little Hennessy straight with some water from the chaser.
She got a cup. I'm not so cordial.
And we just gonna have a good time. That's really all it is. Like we ain't got no agenda. We got a couple things we want to talk about, but other than that, we just gonna kick it, and we hope that y'all enjoy the conversation and that y'all chime in too. I mean, y'all quarantine, we quarantine. Nobody got nothing to do anyway, so let's. That's right. All right, I'm just sharing it on my page.
Okay. And y'all can feel free to share so other people can join in as well, because this post is public, so everybody should be good to go.
All right. I know, like, I see you. I see you got your Henny too. Okay, we got Henny. Henny possible.
Ow. They ain't never lied.
Oh my goodness. So, yeah. All right, so we got some stuff. I know we keep keying right now, but we got some stuff we want to talk about. So earlier today, we made some posts because we wanted to get some feedback from everybody about stuff that y'all wanted to talk about. Y'all wanted to maybe get some advice about, or just, have a conversation around. So we tried to jot down a couple of those, and we're going to talk about them tonight. So a lot of them have to do with sisterhood and relationships and empowering each other as women. We're also going to talk about relationships and love. And we're going to try not to make this live too long. I know I went live a couple times, and my lives have been pretty lengthy. So I'm going to try to keep it as appropriately timed as possible.
But it's Saturday night, so if the girls is having fun, and we just gonna have fun, and that's just what it is. I mean, I'm just saying, I got a fifth, and I can be here. You know what I'm saying? I can be here for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to do.
Listen. Hunty. I'm trying to portion control mine. I'm just trying to, drink in moderation. I don't want to get on live sleep.
I hear you. She will too, y'all. Y'all ready? I'm going to call Adult Protective Services because that bitch is a danger to herself at this point. I'm not sure.
I get tired fast. I'm a mama and I be working and I got a lot of responsibilities. So when I get my chance to relax, my form of relaxation is nap time. It's Mr. Nap time. Okay. All right. So, we'll kick this off. So I know that what's hot right now is the kids are going back to school. And a lot of us, especially as mothers, it can pose a really big challenge because a lot of our kids are going to school online while we're working from home and also juggling a lot of responsibilities at the same time. And that can be pretty hard. So I'm going to do a best friend check-in. How you doing? How is that going for you?
Child, listen. So officially, my kid's school has not started until next Tuesday.
Right.
But we've been in the house since Monday. Now, obviously, we're all, nobody's kids are really going to school right now. But we also have to address the fact that not only do they not have school, we are also working from home.
Yeah.
So we are working from home while our children are doing these math equations that I am not sure who created, but they did not send instructions properly home. And they want to see their work. See, that's the problem. So, so I'm not really too much ready for all that, but you got a couple things laid out. You got rewards and a little belt laying by the table, and we're going to get it done. It's going to be all right.
And, I will say, like, for me, the struggle is real. Like, my struggle is real because I work very hard throughout the day. Like, even when I was in the office, I would work a lot of hours a day. And it's not like just sitting by the wayside. Like, it's humping and pumping all day long. And so when you bring that home, for me, so I have a 15-year-old who's a sophomore in high school. And then I have a 4-year-old who is at home from daycare. So you can imagine my life every day is waking up, trying to make sure my 15-year-old wakes up to log into her classes and try to stay focused enough where she's not on her phone and texting, while also trying to make sure my toddler is not dancing in the background of my Zoom calls while
breaking the dishes and shit.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that can be really, really challenging. Like, I found myself, at some points really stressing about that because I felt like, I couldn't get anything done. I'm always being distracted. You feel like that. You feel a sense of mommy guilt because you can't, like, I felt guilty because I kept shooing my kids off because I'm working, but at the same time, they need my help. And so it's like really hard trying to find that balance as a mother and also somebody who is, working from home. So it's a struggle. But I think
it is.
One of the things that's helping me right now is to put some structures in place and like try to do a routine and get everybody on the schedule. And so like for me with my kids, with my oldest daughter, she needs to be up, you need to be present, you need to be getting dressed for school. I don't care if you're sitting in your bed with fully clothes on, you need to get up because I need to know that you're thinking and I need to know that you're not rolling over just doing whatever. And then with my toddler, it's a strain, but I typically will stay up late so that she can sleep late. So I'll keep her up to like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Let me find out you got a subscription on Amazon for NyQuil.
Listen,
Let me.
Listen, I can't tell you my secrets on live, okay? Just know we have if all services fail, that is a plan B. No, I'm just joking.
I got melatonin on standby, baby. Just know. You want some candy? I got some candy.
Let me say that is just a joke.
I'm not joking.
But it's hard though. You know what I'm saying? So I guess maybe I'm gonna put it out there to Facebook. Like, how y'all doing with it? I know we talked about our situation, but how are y'all doing quarantining while mothering from home, working from home, hustling from home, you know, whatever, going to school from home, whatever it is that you all are doing. So comment, let us know how y'all doing.
And how are you making them stay with a routine? Like, how do you enforce a routine when you yourself are working and can't be there to, like, you know, like sergeant around, drill sergeant, do this and do that? Like, how are you making sure shit gets done while you get your shit done at the same time?
It's tough. It's tough. And so, you know, I think like with the kids, I don't know, you know, they said this whole vaccine situation is about to come out, and you know, I guess people are supposed to say, are you giving your baby the vaccine?
Baby, listen, I'm gonna need like 10 to 15 years worth of research before you go injecting anything into my body or any bodies that I have created. I'm just saying. Because
y'all listen, if y'all take the vaccine, that means we all safe, okay? Because
y'all you have a social obligation to protect me.
You take the vaccine so my kids can be safe, okay? Because I know over here in the Eastland household, we quarantine for life. You know, we keeping it strictly. Don't get me wrong, we have our moments where we need to get out and get some fresh air, but for the most part, we are quarantined. And so I just want to make sure everybody else is taking the vaccine or doing what they got to do to make sure that they stay COVID free, because it is a serious thing. And, you know, I think for me, I don't take it lightly, because I do know people who have been severely or significantly impacted by COVID. And so I want to make sure that, you know, at the end of the day, we are being safe, but I'm not giving my baby no vaccine. I'm sorry. It's not happening.
Well, the thing is, it's like, I firmly believe that it's real. And I firmly believe, you know, that maybe the numbers might be a little skewed, but, you know, it's some big shit popping right now. But at the same time, how we got this big shit popping over here, who knows what big shit's going to be popping after they start injecting these people with these, you know what I mean, with these vaccines. And I personally don't want to be part of a class action lawsuit because I lost my left leg and right toe to the COVID vaccine. I'm just not. You know what I'm saying?
What was the next show? Hydrochloroquine. They were like, you know how you had a Lori commercial?
Yeah.
Did you take hydrochloroquine back in 2020? Did your left eye fall out? Do you have a numbness on the right side of your forehead? No, thank you. I am good. No. Thank you.
I would call you, but I don't have either one of my thumbs. So there's that.
She said she's drinking on her tequila. All right, go ahead, Tiffany.
Right. And also, don't tell Tiffany that, because yesterday was her birthday and she probably still drunk from then. So we're not gonna talk her into any more of the drinking, because that's not. I don't want to be responsible for that. You know what I'm saying? But Chi, don't act like we don't. Well, Crystal might not know you, but I know your name, girl. It's Chi. You see, Unique in my own way. She keep commenting. That's Chi. She say hey. I say hey. How you doing? But Pope, she is giving some of her information on how she handles it. She say that she uses group text with all her kids to keep them in line.
Okay.
And I can see that. You know, you ain't got to get up from your desk. You ain't got to get off the phone doing what you do. Text your kids. Ask them, have you cleaned that hot dog water out the pot yet? Because I'm going to need you to clean that up. And then see, you know, do you have any assignments left over? She also says she sent out a message by text hourly, open forum to ask questions, so they can ask her questions, update about how each class is going, when's your lunch, all that good stuff. So I like how you're using technology.
Teacher, you got some good kids, okay? Because if they respond to them text messages, they are awesome.
Right.
You need to go give your kids a pat on the back, a hug, and tell them you love them. Because let me tell you something, this 15-year-old here in the other room, I can text her, call her, smack her upside the head, and she gonna look at me like, what, did somebody call me? Like, listen,
oh my God.
Secrets with me, because it ain't working for me.
But everybody hears me when I stub my toe on the desk and say fuck. They be like, you call me? The fuck? Where was your antennas?
Right.
Where was your antennas?
Let me open a bag of potato chips and my 4-year-old come running in. Like, I thought you was asleep.
Yeah. Or hear some keys jangling. Where you going? Where was you at?
Yes.
Where was you?
Yeah. So I mean, but I think, you know, what I will say is, you know, I'm sending all my love out to the mothers out there, and let me not shame the guys.
Right.
I'm sending my love out.
There you go.
Guys. I know y'all hustling, and it's hard for y'all too, because y'all
all the at-home parents.
Right.
That's a better way.
And
there you go.
Y'all got to deal with y'all tired, irritated wife, girlfriend, lover, whatever, all day after she been working, dealing with kids, working from home.
She is me, and I am her. I am her. Thank you. Hi. You're welcome.
Yes,
Any day.
I want to make sure I'm shooting out some love. But just, I think that long term, hopefully all this stuff will settle down. And everything will kind of, I don't know if there's ever, I don't know if there's a way to define normal, but at least we can get to a place where things are a bit more manageable. And just know, ladies, that you all are not alone. We are also struggling. We are also trying to figure it out. There's plenty of days where I get completely overwhelmed and frustrated to the point where I am probably literally about to cry and just say, you know what? I'm done with everybody. All y'all can go away. But
And please do exit stage
yes,
left
and
expeditiously.
I meant it. But I think that, the more the more that we continue to do this, the more we'll be able to find our way through it. So
Right.
I just want to send some love out there to y'all and let y'all know that y'all are not alone, and we will all figure out this whole quarantine, schooling from home, working from home, mommying from home, schooling from home, hustling from home, dreaming from home, and whatever else you do at home together. So that's that. So I know that, well, let me see. If y'all got some questions, ladies, I know we got a few people on our live right now. So if y'all got some questions, y'all got some things y'all want to talk about, please feel free to drop them in the comments so we can make sure we get to whatever topics y'all want to cover. And we can just acknowledge, y'all in the room. I know it's 2 of us on the live, but everybody who's a part of this live is a part of our conversation.
This is
So
an open forum.
Yes, it's an open forum. Jump in, hop in, engage, and enjoy.
And pull up. Pull the fuck up. Please.
Yes. Hit the like button if you got something to drink in your cup tonight.
Yeah.
Right? Hit the like button if you got something to drink in your cup tonight.
Wait, where the like button in? Let me find it real quick.
Let me like my own status.
There we go. Let me the feeling. Let me get the feeling. Right. Hang on, let me get that.
Okay. So when we put that out there, one of the questions that came up was, or one of the topics rather, that came up was women empowerment and talking about, sisterhood, and as women, what can we do to empower each other and encourage each other as women. And so I guess I just wanted to open up the discussion to kind of talk about that, because I know there's a lot of women that I've come across that basically say, I don't mess with other women. I kick it with my guys, but I don't really jam too much with other females.
Can I interject
too?
I want to say something.
Yes.
And it's crazy because I'm very guilty of it as well. Just because, as we've talked before, your fillers is out, and once your filler get broke, you can't fill it no more. And I don't do well when I can't fill it. But it's just crazy that. And it's crazy when you think about it like this. It's not crazy in the moment to me, because when I'm in my feelings about another bitch, no matter what the reason is, I'm in my feelings, right? But we hold women that we have never met, that don't owe us anything, that, you know what I mean, that have nothing to do with you ever in the world and never have any sort of input on your life. We hold these women at higher standards for opportunity to mingle with, to, whatever, network with, right? I don't even know these big words of professional shit, but you know what I'm saying? To let in, than we do the men that we lay with. You know what I mean? Like, we holding these women, for whatever reason, like, you know what I mean? Feelings hostage. You know what I mean? And I don't.
It's hard, I think, for me personally. Like, I'm guilty of it. I've always been, like, don't get me wrong, I have my girls and I have people that I jam with, throughout life, but I've always been a girl who has clicked better with guys than I did with females. And I think it's partly because of my personality. Like, my personality is like a laid back, chill type of personality. I'm not with the drama. I'm not with the emotional stuff. I'm really not even that emotional as a person. So for a lot of females, that can come across differently. And I think the challenge is that with other women, we don't take the time to understand each other. You know what I'm saying? That's at least that's what I feel about it. We don't take the time to really understand each other as women and get to know each other for who we are, and just like allow that other woman to be human and to be flawed. Because I'll tell you right now, one of the things I had to work on is, like, once you cross me, we done. Right. Like, that's it. Okay. Yeah. So you like next. Okay. Well, you're right. Good. Cool. Got you. Right. Or if you shady and you two-faced it, got it. Okay, I'm not gonna be.
Or like you put raisins in your potato salad. Like I can't fuck with you.
Yeah, it's just
I'm saying.
it's the principle about it. You don't understand life.
Right.
So I think that, to me, that's like a big deal. But I think what I've learned, or what I'm learning rather, is that we have to be a little bit more forgiving, and allow other women to be women and be flawed too. And that can potentially help us have better relationships, as women. At least that's how I feel.
I agree.
I think we hold them to a higher standard than what's humanly possible.
Right. And where is the benefit of the doubt in that standard, right? Yeah. Like where the chances come in, and especially like I said, these people owe you nothing. Like they don't have any obligation to please you or to satisfy your emotions or whatever. So why are we holding each other to higher standards? And the thing is too is when we bitch all day about having to do everything and having to have these high standards for ourselves, and why do I have to do this, and but you doing the same thing to other women. Like, what are you talking about? What is it? Pick a side. Keep that same energy.
And I think, sometimes what we have to realize as ladies is that there's healing in friendship. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could be going through something at home and I'm just struggling with the kids, struggling with the household, struggling at the job. And if you have a good network of friends and ladies that you can interact with, it's like your safe space, your healing space that's for another to say, hey, I hear you. I see you. I understand you. I feel you. You're not alone.
And I'm here for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
And if you don't have that network or circle of friends, then you're really missing out. Now I think you do have to be like selective with who you allow in your circle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't just have everybody in a circle, because I don't believe everybody has good intentions.
No.
But I do think that there is, like, at least at this stage in my life, I kind of feel I can get a feel for a person fast. I think I can pick up on energy fast and say, you know what? This ain't you're a short distance relationship. I need somebody who's gonna do long distance with me.
Right.
And you have to trust in your decision making skills to bring the right people around you.
Well, and two, I think that, and we talked about this before as well, but like knowing your role. You know what I mean? In that network or in that circle or in that friendship, whatever it may be. And like we've talked about before as well, how I feel about I can't be at anybody's beck and call. Like, unless some shit is really, you know what I mean? Like, if some shit's going down and you need help loading that body to the back of that truck, baby, let me put my boots on and check my gas level real quick. And I'm going to be there, right?
Hold on, pause though. Can I just say something? I ain't doing that for everybody. I do that for you.
No, right.
I ain't going to jail. I don't like jail.
Right.
Yeah, I gotta be at work on Monday. I can't be in jail.
I'm just saying.
Right. Yeah. Okay, go
ahead.
But
also, if you understand that we are at that level, then you would understand as what I need you to understand, because I cannot assume that everybody is like-minded like myself.
Right.
So what I would need you to understand is that I also have a life, that I also have children, that I also have a job, that I also need time down away from all of that. You know what I mean? And just because I have downtime does not mean that I'm available to do, not necessarily anything with you, but if I don't feel mentally up to it, you need somebody that understands that I need a self-care day. You know what I mean?
But that's the biggest thing too. Is like at this point in my life, it's like I got a full load. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a full load, and I don't have the capacity to be on the phone every day, or going out to the club every weekend, or calling you all the time. Like I need you to know that I'm here for you, and if something ever pops up, without a shadow, and that's how me and you are. You know what I mean? Like we don't necessarily have to talk every day, but I know that hey, if I text you, say, hey, bitch, cold red, level 10,
and I'm face calling, bitch. What's up, bitch? I'm here.
All I see is a GIF emoji running to the because now listen, okay, this is something where I really need your attention. And whether it's just to vent, cry, get some perspective, just let it, like whatever it is, you have to be able to do that. But on a daily basis, you got your life, I got my life. And as long as ain't nothing happen, you good, I'm good. We check in with each other, make sure we still good. We keep it moving.
And then when we pick back up, it's like nothing ever happened in the first place. Like literally, there's been probably 4 or 5 months of us not really talking. Maybe a hey bitch, how you doing type of text or whatever, but like no real conversation for 4 or 5 months. And we get back and be like, bitch, listen, I'm not right. But that's what's lacking though, because you have to get to a point where you trust somebody enough to be there when you haven't been in their presence. You know what I mean? Like, you don't just start off being like, oh, bitch, you my bitch, I can go to you for anything. No, that's not that, right? So that's where the trust issues come in. So trust issues are a big thing that hold women back from empowering other women, is because we have so many trust issues, and there's so many elements to trust issues to even like delve into to understand what the basis of that part even comes from it, much less any of the other facets of it.
You know what I realized too, and I think I learned this through our friendship, is that it just takes time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't hold somebody, I can't hold a day one person to somebody who I've known since for 13 years. You know what I'm saying? So I can't, like, it takes time to develop that level of trust and that level of friendship with somebody. And sometimes as women, we want to go in being able to feel like we can just divulge everything and let this person be our friend, when in reality they haven't necessarily earned that space in your life just yet. And so when you realize they can't meet it, or when you feel like they fall short of it, then you become disappointed. And I think as women, we just have to give each other that space to like allow that relationship to grow. And I think that's even the same in relationships with men, where we get into relationships with men and we hold them to husband expectations, but it's like, damn, y'all just that. You know what I'm saying?
So I guess my question to you would be, like, okay, we've identified that that's a problem, right? We've identified that this is an issue. So how do we, as a collective, as well as an individual, how do we proceed to break that down, right? Like, how do we get past the point of, bitch, I don't trust you, I'm shutting this shit down, clink, clink, to, oh, you can come over just for one time.
This is, I mean, I think from my experience, and I honestly, like, I feel like for me, my friendship with you was the only friendship that I've had that wasn't grown from childhood, right? Because I think we met as adults. And so I think for me, what allowed us to get to that space where we went from, bitch, I don't trust you, to you my best friend, I love you, I do anything.
And we still haven't figured that out. That's been a question.
Yeah, but I think it's also like a level of vulnerability. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to give them the benefit of the doubt. And I think one of the things that, and we've talked about this, like one of the things that has made our friendship so strong is that we both came into it like, bitch, I am who I am.
Right. And if you don't like me, I really don't give a fuck. Like,
okay, I'm good at this. I ain't good at that. I like this. I don't like that.
You like it or not? You want it? Yeah, no, okay.
Yeah. But you know what though? But I think that that's powerful, because a lot of times we go into relationships and we put on these masks and we put on these facades, you know, especially as women, where we like to think that we come in with having all our shit together, or, you know, we the baddest one out of the crew, or, you know, we rock the designer labels, or what all, you know, all that other stuff. And it's just like, look, at the end of the day, when it comes to maintaining a friendship, that stuff is irrelevant. Like, I think for me, like, you were there for me in some of my toughest points, and you know what those times were. Like, I'm literally on the phone with you, boo-hooing, snot bubbles, crying.
And it's been the same way.
And you know what you said? Look, I'm on my way.
Right. I'm on my way. I even remember times that you didn't even have the energy to boo-hoo. And I'm like, bitch, if you don't put them motherfucking pants and shoes on, bitch, and get the fuck up. Exactly. I'm not sure what the fuck. But
and that to me is friendship. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need somebody who is just going to be there for the show of friendship, because friendship is work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
just for the title.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why, when, you know, and I know we joke about this, but I take my best friend role very seriously.
Yes.
Okay. Because
I hear you.
You ain't been through what I've been through with my best friend.
Right. It's like if another bitch try to have your kids call them mama, bitch, what do you mean? Like, I did this. Fuck is this? Exactly. I created all this. This is me, bitch.
The reason why I'm here for you is because I'm here for her.
Stop it.
For real. But I think that's fair, you know, because when you think about a friendship friendship that has developed over time, it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that go into our friend. We've had our fallouts. We've had times we pissed each other off. We didn't have times like, bitch, I'm gonna hang up the phone. I'm gone. Look,
right.
I quit.
Right. I'm gonna talk to you later.
I'll talk to you later.
Let you calm your ass down for a motherfucking minute, bitch.
Right.
I'm gonna circle back. I'm gonna spin the block, bitch. But get your shit together.
But then after a while, like, hey, girl, what you doing?
Right. Look.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's how it works. So hold on. Okay. So I see we got some comments in there. Okay. So the Ladella Denise, she said, and some women don't take the time to get to know the next person and automatically think everyone is their friend. And when some shit happens, and be worked the fuck up.
For real. That's that emotional shit though. And that's and I cannot speak on anyone else's behalf, right?
Right.
But the reason I personally do not, so I put it on two levels. I don't have many friends, and I really don't have many female friends, right? I have two friends that I keep in contact with all the time, no matter what, no matter years it's been, all that, right? And no matter how long it's been, we pick back up and we're good to go. I have a lot of friends, I would still consider them friends as well, that I don't talk to on the regular, but they're still there for me. I'm there for them, but it's on a lower level. You know what I mean? You don't call me in the middle of the night if some shit goes down, but I'm here, you know, if you're fucked up or depressed. You know what I mean? Like, it's a mid-level friend. But I think for me personally, a lot of the emotional, and I think whenever you say that you have always had more men friends, for myself, I've never really had many friends anyways, but you feel like more of a connectiveness with men friends at some points, because there's not the emotional crybaby, sob story, needy, where you been, why you ain't answering my calls type shit. You know what I mean? So I think that we have a lot of work to do, whether it's trust issues, whether it's emotional. We're all emotional wrecks. Like, most of the people I know, especially right now, are emotional wrecks. Like, shit's crazy. We've never been through anything like this before. We've got a lot of stuff thrown on us at one time. But we have to figure out how to, like, move past all of these. That's where we have to delve into, like, figuring out, okay, these are our issues, but, like, what are you going to do about it? Right? Like, where do you start? What is the starting point?
Well, Amanda, she says, I'm guilty too, but women that are on the same page, no drama, on a forward focus, relatable, genuinely has my best interest. Keep my circle small with women. You're not going to click with all. Different personalities, just like in a relationship, I got a type. Amanda, let me hurt you real quick.
Love her. Because that's Pope.
Amanda, that's my thing too. I tell Winnie that all the time. Like, I do have a type, and it's not, and it sounds kind of like arrogant, or maybe some people might think it's stuck up, but it's not. It's just like, as you get older, you know the type of personalities that you mesh with, and then you also kind of know the personalities that you don't mesh with. There's no love lost. There's no judgment. Do your thing, girl. I support you, sis. But it's just on a consistent basis. It's just not the energy that I like. And like, so for example, for me personally, like, I like to surround myself with people who are headed places in life, you know what I'm saying, who ain't just content with the everyday thing. Like, you got to be on the hustle. You got to be trying to think about how to better yourself as a person. And it's not always even about the money. It's about just bettering yourself as a person.
Your mentality and everything.
If you don't take care of your kids, we don't have anything in common, because my life is my kids. And so, to me, sometimes those type of personalities I don't mesh with. If you are a negative person, or have like a victim mentality where it's like, woe is me, the world is against me, I don't have energy for that. And I can't give you the level of friendship that you need, because I'm not going to feed into that. And what I found is that because my personality is so different, a lot of times people get offended by that. And it's like, well, who you think you are trying to give me advice? It's like, girl, listen, I ain't got time to be depressed. Like,
and I don't owe you no explanation as to why I feel how I feel. Never apologize for your feelings, baby. Especially go off your first gut and how your energy is feeding, because that's two things I will never distrust.
like for me personally, I want people that's gonna motivate me, that's gonna inspire me, that's gonna challenge me to be a better person, that's gonna call me out on my shit. Like I think for you and I, we have done a great job of being able to do that, and while still being supportive. I'm like, listen, girl, here's what I think you should do. I know you ain't gonna take it anyways, and I'm gonna love you still, but I'm not gonna tell you no wrong.
I think that we are also more so reflective, right? So necessarily not, here's what I think you should do, because I don't think that either one of us have ever been like advice givers, you know what I mean? But let's talk about it. Why is it that way? And what do you wish it was? And how do you think that you can get to that level? You know what I mean? Like it's more of a reflective state. But you don't find that too often because everybody is so wrapped up in material things and everybody is so wrapped up in time and what did you do for me and I did this for you, and I don't have time for none of that.
And
I just
you
don't.
know what? It's like at the end of the day, like I know I'm a unique personality. Like I can be very socially awkward at times, and you know I'm introverted by nature, and I can have my moments when I show up or whatever. But at the end of the day, what's most important to me is, are you a good person? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you truly
what was your intentions?
What is your intentions with this relationship? Because a lot of times, a lot of women come from a lot of broken places, and because they haven't fully healed from whatever those relationships were or situations were, they end up hurting the people that's closest to them. And if you're not in a space of being a good person and somewhat healing from whatever you have dealt with, then how can you truly be a good friend to me? And so I can love you from a distance, you know, if you need advice or if you need somebody to just vent to, or, you know,
but there's levels to this shit.
It's levels. I need to know that at the end of the day, you are a good person, and that I can trust you to be a good person even when I'm not in the room.
Okay, so let's remove this level of friendship, right? This is the top level of friendship. This is the what's the secret word friendship, right? I almost said the secret word. But I caught myself real quick. Don't do that. But okay, so then how, if we're talking about real empowerment, right? We have to start empowerment in my eyes, and everybody might have a different, you know, description or definition. But in my eyes, true empowerment removes any personal level from it, right? So that means that I owe you nothing, you owe me nothing. I love you for who you are, and I love you for all the things that you do, no matter what they are that you do. No matter how I deem it to be important or not. If this is what brings you joy, then I support you wholeheartedly. So that is on a non-personal level, which can never be top-notch level, right? So then how do we, as a starter, how do we get to the point where we can accept them, not even accepting them to think that they are applying for top-notch level, right? We're just accepting them as who they are and where they stand and where, you know what I mean? And taking them as they are. How do we get to that?
You know what? This is my honest opinion. I feel like many women can't accept other women for who they are because they haven't accepted themselves for who they are. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that there's a level of acceptance of yourself. Because like for me, if I feel like, hey, listen, I'm comfortable with who I am. I know I'm not perfect. I know I'm flawed. I know there's a lot of things I need to work on to better myself. But at the end of the day, I'm comfortable with who I am. That frees me up to be of support to somebody else. Because a lot of times, a lot of women don't want to help another woman because they feel like they're going to take their spot, or they feel like they are going to, you know, get something more than what the other person is. But if you're truly comfortable with who you are, you know that what's yours is yours, and you have no reason not to help another out, because
nobody else can block your blessings.
Exactly. And so I think, to me, that's where the first part of it starts is just making sure that you know who you are and that you're healed enough to see the beauty in somebody else's blessing. And then the second part is to me, it's like you just have to naturally want to see other women win. And like my thing is, I know how hard it is as a woman. I don't know everybody else's life story, but I know I've been through some stuff and I've had some challenges. And so if I see another woman who is overcoming those challenges and who is really trying to make the best out of maybe what could be a crappy situation, go sis. You know what I'm saying? Because I know life is hard on you. I know these kids are getting on your nerves. I know that man is driving you crazy. Go, sis. You know, and to me, that's like genuine. Like, I really want you to win because I know your struggle, woman to woman. I want you to win.
Because there's enough room for all of us to shine. Like, it's enough shine for all of us. Exactly. Unless you're my direct competitor, and then fuck you, because I don't like you, bitch. But, but the rest, you're cool. You're cool. Fuck you. You're cool.
But you know what? That's the truth. And I've seen, you know what? And honestly, I've seen that a lot at work. Like, in work situations where, like, okay, it's cool. At home, you do your thing, whatever. But at work, it can get really intense for women because a lot of times, especially in my situation where, you know, you work in corporate America and it's a male-dominated field. And and sometimes it definitely does feel like there's only one spot. You know, you're the token woman that they have to kind of let through. And it's like, okay, which one of y'all are going to get it? And so it's like this fight to be that token woman that gets to that is allowed a seat at the table.
Like, there's only one mold.
Yeah. And so you see a lot of competitiveness. You see a lot of bossing up and, you know, power tripping women because you have to be the toughest person in the room. You have to be the one that has that presence and has that level of control over the room. And so it gets to the point where sometimes if you're not aware of it, it can also be destructive, you know? And so even in my own journeys in life and professionally, I've had to take a step back and say, okay, hold on. I don't like
what's really happening.
I don't like what I'm doing right now or what's required of me to get to this space. And so I've learned that let me just fall back and let me just allow you to do what you need to do. Because again, that's where it comes from, where you say, I know what God has for me is for me. I'm gonna let, if he wants me at that table, you can't stop me. You're not gonna be the one to stop me.
So do you think a lot of this competitiveness, even outside of the workforce, just in general, do you think the competitiveness comes from like this is society, how they deem us, you know what I mean, like catty against each other over men, over relationships? We're always in competition with other women over relationships. How do you feel that relationships, like personal relationships, play into this?
Think about society, and this is like society has been the biggest influence in the level of competitiveness amongst women. So we're measured not based on our intelligence, not based on our contributions to the society, but we're based on how we look. We're based on the type of man that we are able to capture. We're based on how our body shapes are. And you think about it, if you think about the media, they pit everybody against each other. They put light skin against dark skin, white women against black women, wealthy women against poor women, big booties with little booties, big titties with little titties. So any way that they can, you know, separate us, they do it. And so I think at some point we have to be smart enough to say, you know what, hey, hold on, like blonde hair versus brunette versus red, like weave versus
like we all bitches. Come on, man, come on.
And at some point we have to be
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. She know what I mean, but I ain't mean it like that.
Right, but we have to be able to take a step back from that and say, you know what, you are not my enemy. You are not. And you are my sister. And we are fighting this fight together, you know? So
I agree. I definitely agree.
So my mama on my live, she said,
Mama Robin.
She said, I've learned to do life on my own terms and unapologetically. I love hard, but cut even harder. And then she said, for me, empowerment has come from me finding peace and living there. Okay.
You know what? I will say too, there is comfort in age as well.
Yeah.
So I will say, from my perspective, compared to where I was 10 years ago in my mid-20s, that like I have, my give a fuck broke a lot off over the time. You know what I mean? So at this point, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, if this happened, if that happened, as long as I'm cool, you know what I mean? I'm still moving forward to what it is. Any outside interference is not, like, it's not my forte. You know what I mean? So I think that I see a lot of, because I have an 18-year-old as well. So I see a lot of, you know, her generation, like, down on themselves and I can't move forward and there's so many haters and all this and all that. And I'm like, just chill.
Right.
You're going to be all right. You know what I mean? We getting there. We got to hold hands, sing Kumbaya a little bit on the way, but we getting there.
Right.
So I will say that in age, you know, I do appreciate the peace that I had bestowed upon myself when my give a fuck got broke.
It's hard to, because, you know, like you said, you have an 18-year-old and I have a 15-year-old. And I think,
Right.
especially at that age, it's hard for them, especially in high school, because kids are
Yes.
cool. And, you know, like my baby, she a beautiful chocolate drop. And
Yeah.
I think and for me, it was really important for me to make sure she understood the beauty within her melanin, because a lot
Absolutely.
of times, you know, she's put against people who don't look like her as a standard of
Right.
beauty. You know, if you think about, and then just keeping it, you know, completely honest, you know, long hair, lighter skin, you know,
Right.
straight hair, whatever the case may be. And so
Right.
at an early age, I thought it was really important to make sure my baby knew the beauty of her natural hair, the
Yep.
beauty with her melanin skin, and
Absolutely.
understanding that she, you know, she doesn't have to change her identity to fit in
No matter whatever.
you know, is around her. And I think
Right.
sometimes, you know, she went through her pain points because, you know, some of her friends probably fit the typical stereotype, and so guys would choose other girls over her. But I think
Right.
now, as she's kind of getting a little bit older, she's learning that, hey, look, you don't have to choose me, because you
Right.
ain't my
That's cool. I ain't like your ugly ass any motherfucking way. Right.
So I think that that's, you know, that's important to make sure that at an early age that kids understand. And I think the other thing for me too personally is like why I never get caught up in the drama and like the whole stereotype of being competitive is because my mom is a dark-skinned woman. You know, my
Right.
aunties are dark-skinned women. And I've been raised around beauty
Hey, love.
that looks and hey.
Shut the door.
Raised around
Okay.
that looks at that is seen in different forms. You know, I have my mom who's a dark skinned woman. My auntie is light skinned with straight hair. My grandmother was a lighter complected woman, but my other grandma was a darker skinned woman with a shapely body. So because I've been exposed to different standards of beauty, I've learned to accept who I am. And I think that's what women, you know, what women need to really be able to focus in on. So
Right. I mean, I would definitely agree. And you know what? Like, I will say that you have done a very good job of instilling the confidence that you exude into your children. I gotta say that because that's one of my favorite things about you. So, anywho, I told you I'm not gonna cry today. Bitch, I don't have time for this shit. But I think that, you know, too, like, we have to get that to all of our kids, like, not about themselves, you know what I mean, but about everybody. Like, beauty is all around you, and all you have to do is just be open to seeing it, you know what I mean. And there's no, like, true definition of beauty, or like, there's no capture of what beauty really means. Like, you had to create that yourself, and you are yourself, and you are the way that you are created for a reason. So I feel like this, and you know what a time for her to be alive, though, because right now, baby, her melanin is definitely popping, and there's no question about it in any mainstream media anywhere at all. So I am so glad she gets to experience that at a young age.
And you know what I think, like, a part of that too is, and I mean, this is just like keeping it funky, is that you just gotta know your type. Like, my type ain't everybody's type. My type like me.
And that's okay. What Miss Pearly say, shut up, bitch. I know somebody like it.
So you may like a certain type of dude, and he may be, and it's no, you know, this ain't no shade to no dudes, but he might be a pretty boy, keep his nails manicured, you know, wear a man purse or whatever. Like, that ain't my type. I'm not that.
You had me until it's the man purse for me. I can't. I'm not.
Man purses, but that ain't my type. Now, once I learned
shout out to the motherfuckers that wear man purses. Shout out to the motherfuckers that wear man purses.
So once I learned what my type was, it was like, okay, cool. You ain't my type anyway. So if you don't like it, I'm okay with that. The type that I like likes me, you know?
I ain't like your man purse wearing ass any motherfucking way.
You know, you're prettier than I am. You take longer to get dressed than me. Like,
did you use my gel, bitch? Because I'm sure that I
more than me. Like, come on now. We ain't the same. And then, you know, but like, you know, you have to be able to go deep with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you think, like, what are your thoughts? What are your morals? What do you believe in? What are you fighting for? You know, what
is there any substance?
Is there any substance to you.
Right.
If the only basis of your relationship is based on whether I'm light skinned or dark skinned, then your standards are too low for me
Right.
anyway.
What is this?
Because
Is
I
not a relationship of any sort on a personal level ever.
exactly,
Like, if that's the case, what do you
exactly.
mean?
So that's how I feel about it. So as you grow older, and it took some time. You know, you don't learn that in high school. I learned that well after high school. But
Right.
once you learn who your type is, then you know how to cater to your type. My type like
That's
dark
it.
skinned women with natural-ish hair. You know, that's
Ish.
all. You
You
know,
know,
you got to be
on
that type of
Tuesday, it might be a little natural
exactly.
over here, just a little bit right here.
You got to be able to handle me without my lashes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We have to be, and that's serious. Like, you know, because if you think about like our personality, I think that you and I are very similar in a lot of ways. It's like,
Right.
okay, I can be very professional.
Right.
I'm also Team Jesus. I can
Right.
be good and a little ratchet, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I can be, you know, or I can be crazy and social.
And my attitude really stinks sometimes.
Depending
Mm.
on a Tuesday, it can be,
Right.
but
It's going up
you
on a Tuesday.
exactly as long as you are mature enough to understand the complexity of a woman, and you're
Right.
not looking at it based on superficial standards, then we can buy it. You know, and I think
Right.
for me, that's what eliminates a lot of competition too, is because it's
So,
like y'all can have all
okay. So they say that they only gonna do what you allow, right?
right, right.
So then, if that's the case, if that's part of the issue at hand, how do we stop allowing that to happen? How do we stop allowing them to choose us for things of that nature?
So my thing too is that like I'm the prize. Like
Hello.
that's what women have to understand. And this is not, I promise, let me say this clearly. This is not to say that you're perfect, that you're not flawed, that you don't have some things that you need to work on.
Who?
But
Who? I know you're not talking to me
but I'm just
because I thought we had this
right.
conversation
I am.
before, and I'm
Listen.
pretty fucking yeah. Go ahead.
But you
I'm
know,
sorry.
I just think that as a woman, you know, you have to understand who you are, and you have to be able to walk in the fullness of your womanhood. And when you walk in the fullness of your womanhood, men will
Right.
recognize that, and they're gonna want to step their game up. Like
Right.
me personally, like, okay, I'm just saying, like, I've never been an A-shawty kind of girl. I ain't never had
Right.
the body for it.
Right.
I ain't never dressed that way. And I can say that women dress like that to be an A-shawty girl. But I'm just saying, I've never been the type
But a
that,
lot of them do.
yeah,
We just gonna say that a lot of them do because that's the insecurity portion of the non-advancement of women empowerment is the
right.
insecurity. So there's that.
But
But
I think like
keep going. I'm sorry.
people who I have grown to get to know in life, we have connected probably on a mental level before it became physical.
Right.
Because that to me is like my strongest attribute. And it's not like you gotta speak about world peace and politics, but it's
Yeah,
just
but
in order
if
to
there's no
be
substance, there has to be like
yeah,
a connection, a verbal, mental connection. You know what I mean?
yeah.
In order
Like
for it to even think
yeah,
about progressing.
you can be the finest dude or whatever, but I'm not
Right.
going to be attracted to you until I know where your headspace is. I
Right.
could be like, oh, he cute or he nice looking. Not that I'm looking, but
Right.
I'm just saying that I can say
Yeah.
that, but
In
that doesn't mean
general.
I want to be with you. In
Right.
order to be attracted to you, you know, I have to be like, okay, we mentally vibe. Like you get where
Right.
I'm coming. I can have a deep conversation with you,
Because
and
if
we
you
can really
don't
get along.
mentally connect like that, you're
Right,
not, the attraction is not there anymore. You know what I
right.
mean? So that cuts that off, and now you don't even look at them even physically the same anymore. Even though they look physically the same, your mind doesn't process it the same as it used to.
Right. So I got a question for you. So what do
Okay.
you
Oh God.
when you
Let
meet
me get ready.
somebody? Okay, so I'm going back to petty right now. Hold on, let me drink to this real quick.
I would have another shot, but I just had a shot, and I don't think I should have another shot right now because I had a lot of shots already. So
Right. So when you think about when you first meet a guy, what's the first thing that stands out to you?
his hands.
Okay.
I mean
Please
his
unpack that
eyes. Um,
for me. I don't get it. I don't understand.
well, no, not his eyes. I think honestly the way that he, and I would say swag, but not really swag because I don't like even using that word. But like the way they carry, I need to see him in motion. Like, not just standing at the counter or some shit, right?
Yeah.
I need to see him in motion. I think the way that a man carries himself is a big precursor
Yeah.
as to what you can expect, because you can tell true confidence versus showy confidence. You know what I mean? You can tell true style versus forced style.
Yeah.
You can tell, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I guess that just goes also with the age thing. You know what I mean? When I was 20, I don't know that I could necessarily say that I could tell that.
Right.
But now they be like, oh, look at him. He's so fun. I'm like, bitch, he look like he pushed shopping carts. The fuck is this even? I'm not like, what is this? But, you know, that's the first, you know, because your humanity forces you to see what's presented to you, not what the content is, right? So that's, I think, for me, that's the first, like, catcher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, let me look at you in your element.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Stephanie said it's his teeth and his smile.
Okay.
And I know that's right. But you know what? I've learned not to trust that, because you want to fuck around and get your heart broke, bitch, go for that motherfucker to smile pretty.
Right.
We're not going to do that. Like, it was some comedian. She was like, I need just a little dab of ugly. Like, let me know you had a little struggle in your life. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be out here looking like some granola bars. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to need you to get your life together. Like, one side of your beard a little longer than the other side or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what
one
the
fuck? The other one is
right.
functional. Yeah, I feel you.
Like, if you look at him from the side, he looked like his nose big, but not really from the front. You know what I'm saying?
Optical illusions. Optical illusions.
Hell no.
You know, I think for me, mine's is like, he just has to have presence. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be the loudest person in the room.
Right.
You don't have to be the funniest. You don't have to be the most good looking.
But they know you're there.
But your presence is what matters. And I think, like, for me, I've always been a person that, okay, I'm not trying to be weird with this, but my grandfather was a person who had presence. He was, of course, he was a pastor, so he pastored and stuff like that. But in his natural element, he was a very quiet man. But when he walked through the room, everything went quiet. You know what I'm saying? Because he has such a presence about him.
So that would be like his energy, though, right? We talked about energies and like auras.
Yeah.
And like that, I get, you know, though, that's linked back to the spiritual level, like not even with religion or anything. You know what I mean? And that's on a friendship level, a relationship level, whatever. But you got to, at some point, your spirits, if you are, that's your person in any element, your spirits have to align. So I think that that's like on a weird level, like that's your spirituality, and your spirit knows their spirit type. You know what I mean? Like, it's the passing. I don't know.
Chemistry. It's like,
yeah.
Because like, have you like, for me, like, it's like, you know, energy. Like, I know it, and I know when there's that connection there, and if there's no connection there, then there's no point in me even like going there.
There's no use in trying.
Again, it's
I
not
don't have the energy.
Out there trying to get it. I'm just saying from personal experiences, that's important.
And no matter, like I said, though, no matter what field of relationship you're talking about, energy is energy, right? And you don't want to surround yourself with an energy that makes your energy uneasy. You know what I mean? Or that's a big thing for me, is like, I have a problem when I do feel uneasy. I have a problem coming back from being uneasy. You know what I mean?
But that's all about,
anywho,
like, protecting our peace too. You know, I think as women, a lot of times we get in these relationships with guys, and especially when they're long relationships, so many things can happen throughout the course of that relationship that can really change, shift the energy that may have been once there. So, you know, and it's very hard to find a way to come back from that, because once you move that needle, it's hard to get it directly back to the same spot that it was, you know?
Yep. And once the tip of the needle is gone, it don't poke right no more. You know what I mean? It don't fit the same slots it used to. It don't fit. It ain't a good fit no more. So have
you ever had a situation where, and I know you have, but have you ever had a situation where the needle has been moved and you're trying to put it back in that same spot, and then just, tell me about that.
I went through 12 years of that. You already know that. Yeah. You know what I mean? But, and the thing is, it goes back to, these are the issues at hand. These are the insecurities at hand. These are, you know what I mean? But I think I've also come to a point in my life that I can't hold anybody else responsible for that needle no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
I
my
can't
needle.
blame it on nobody else. Right, that's mine. And I got to protect my needle so it worked properly. Right? This is my livelihood here, right?
Right.
So, I mean, I think, though, that itself is a problem because you become so protective. You become so, and also, too, like, once you find your peace, like, I lived in a hailstorm for like 12 years, right? You know what I went through.
Right.
I don't have to go into too much
No.
detail here, but it was like a constant hailstorm. Like, it might get quiet sometimes, but it don't ever stop. You know what I mean? So I think that, like, when you're left with that trauma and when you're left with the residuals of anything, be it a intimate relationship, a friendship, you know what I mean? Like, all of your interactions around you build who you are. So then you're left with this. You have these issues that you have known about.
Right.
But again, how do you turn it around? You know what I mean? How do you, and then the terrible part about it is you know that these are irrational thoughts and you know that these are not reality, or maybe not reality, but you know how your mind will work yourself up into thinking that you have to be territorial or competitive or whatever it is when it's not really that. So how do you, like, even though you see it, how do you, like, sideswipe it without having to always actively sideswipe it? Because that is a whole nother issue, like the draining part of the issues that you have at hand. I'm fucked up, Crystal. Help.
But you know what I'm gonna tell you, and I know I tell you this all the time, but I love you so much, and I know I'm so proud. And I'm so proud of, like, the woman that you have become, and just being able to pull yourself out of a situation that you recognize wasn't in your best. This is no shade to anybody or, you know, the person that you were, you know, going through this with. I'm just saying, as your friend, I recognize, you know, how the impacts of how that affected you, and I also recognize the strength that it took for you to get to that place to be able to find a new reality. And I know that was I know that wasn't an easy journey. No. And I think you know, I'm so proud of the direction that you're headed in, you know, when it comes to that.
I love you, Crystal. KD, I love you. I love you so much.
Come on, girl, act like you know the color purple.
Oh, wait. No.
That wasn't in the hand.
Oh, shit. We didn't talk about this before.
Right.
We didn't rehearse this very well.
I think that, but for any woman who, and I know, you know, I hope ladies, you know, again, keep joining in on the conversation. I want to hear y'all thoughts. I want to know what y'all thinking. If y'all can feel what we're talking about, and what y'all thoughts are. But any woman who has been through something, you know, especially everybody has had that one situation. You know what I'm saying? That one situation that almost took you out.
Yes.
Like if it was, if it's one if it wasn't for God. Yes.
Let go.
If it wasn't for God, you would, you would
I hear you,
probably
girl.
in this situation. And so, but I think that those of us who are able to move forward and to find a level of peace to release ourselves from those situations, we oftentimes become stronger women. You know what I'm saying? As a result of that. And so
you got to. Yeah. If you don't make that strong, if you don't use that to make you stronger, you are playing the victim. Yes. You cannot play the victim. You have to use these stones that are thrown at you to build a motherfucking wall. Do you understand what the fuck? Like, this is your house. We're going to throw these stones. You got to catch these motherfuckers. But it's going to be your house. This your house. Fuck you, me.
Yeah.
I pick them goddamn rocks up. Put them bitches together right here.
And sometimes you have to, like, even when it hurts like hell, you have to be able to find the strength to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, fix your lashes,
that's right,
your hair, and you walk it off. You walk it off, because at the end of the day, there's more one thing that has always been a motivating factor for me is that, at the end of the day, I got girls, and my girls,
Right.
they need to see me in a place of happiness and being healthy
Yes.
and in a space. And that's hard, it's hard. I'm not saying it's always easy. I'm not saying I don't get it wrong a lot of the times. But
So,
when you have people
I,
looking at you,
yeah, and
go ahead.
people that are waiting on you to get it right, right?
Right.
But I read a post the other day. It was supposed to be funny, but like I chuckled a little bit, but I was like, damn, that shit kind of, you know what I'm saying, kind of hit a little close to the heart a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
It said, like, why is it up to our generation to break all these generational curses?
Yeah.
And I felt that so deep, G.
Yeah.
And not to say, like, I feel like, my mother did the best that she knew how to raise me. I feel like her parents did the best that they knew how to raise them as well. But I feel like this generation, and it's probably due to technology, the advance of technology, but we've, as a whole, become more of a woke society,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
we know that these are issues and we know that things are at hand. So I feel like our generation has more of an overload of responsibility when it comes to breaking these generational curses and making sure that the next generation is actually better than our generation, and making sure that they know their self-worth, and making sure that they know happiness without outside interference. You know what I mean? Like, I really I took that one to heart because I feel like that is
It's
definitely something that we have to work on.
You know what I think though? I think that, I know it's a lot of stuff that's going on in this world that's crazy, and people may not realize the beauty about what's happening, but our generation, we ain't going for a lot of stuff that happened in the
Right,
past. And so, breaking a generational curse is honestly not even an option for us. And this is
right,
like, again, this is nothing, no shade to the people that walked before us, much respect because they paved the way.
absolutely.
But if you just think about the state of the world, you know, we're not dealing with a lot of stuff that people dealt with in the past when
Right,
it comes to uh, racial issues, when it comes
right,
to the workplace, when it
right.
comes to these relationships and marriages.
Relationships,
Yeah,
right. All
it's like,
of
I'm
it.
not having
It's a
that.
different
No, I'm
playing
not
field.
happy. I'm not
Mm-mm.
going to allow you to dictate my life. I'm not going
Right.
to allow you to discriminate against me or treat me
And
differently because,
devalue me as who I
yeah,
know that I am.
yep. And
Right.
so we are a generation, and in my opinion, we are a generation of fighters. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, we are not, and right now it seems chaotic because we are shaking the system that has been in place.
Right.
But I think the long-term rewards are going to be so powerful because people are, if you don't like it, you may not like it, but you will respect it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? At the end of the day, you may not like the decisions, you may not like the
Right.
way people go about it, you may not necessarily agree with it, but you will respect the way
Yep.
that we feel, and our
Right.
voices are being heard. And so that alone breaks a generational curse
Right.
because, especially, and I mean, and this is like not necessarily nothing against, like, I mean, I just think, like, as African American community, we're not going for a lot of the stuff that the people
Right.
before may have allowed to happen. Like,
Right.
no, and
No.
me personally, if that's breaking the generational curse, because I'm telling you, hey, listen, I want everything I want out of this life, and I'm not accepting no for an answer. If that's
Right.
breaking the generational curse, then let it break,
Yep.
because
I
I
hear you.
deserve happiness. I deserve wealth. I
Yep.
deserve the things that I desire. So if that
Yep.
means to you that's breaking the system, then
Then fuck it. The system,
let it
it
break.
is what it is. Right.
Yeah,
That
we're
is what it is. I feel you on
unapologetically,
that.
yeah, we unapologetically us. And I can even say this, like, for my own, like, life experiences where, like, even just professionally, I've been in a situation where I have been the only, I've been the youngest person. I've been the only female person. I've been the only African American person. And
Right.
it's like, for a moment you take that, you have that self check, like, oh shit,
What's
oh
happening?
Lord
Where?
Jesus.
How did I get here?
And you kind of doubt yourself a little bit. You feel a little bit insecure because everybody else is used to being at this table. But then I
Right.
had a moment with myself and say, you know what, Crystal, no. Like, step up. You
Yep.
deserve to be in this room. You worked your
Yep.
ass. in this seat. You deserve
right.
to be exactly where you are, and you deserve that happiness. And I'm not going to let you take that away from me. So
That's
if you're
right.
telling me to go back to my seat or go back to what I should, the place that I feel like I should be,
you're right. Exactly.
no, it's not happening.
Exactly.
Break. Let it break.
It's what my heart desires, and I would hate that you stand in the way of what my heart desires. So, good luck on that.
Yes.
On that.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you got left in your cup, but I kind of look. I did a little doozy. I made a You see how
you little dent. You made a little dent in it.
Yeah, I did a little damage, a little dab of do you.
Had a long week. It's okay.
I'm saying.
Do you want to cover one more thing? Because I know we probably over an hour already. I told
we
you
are.
fast.
It is, but it's nice though.
I know, right? So I guess let me see, because I want to make sure we got to all the questions that people talked about. So I know. So two things that came up was side pieces and taking men. That's that's
a whole podcast by itself. Make it go.
And then,
Lord. It hit you right back here. It go.
The other one was healing therapy and mental health. So let's talk about these side pieces and taking men.
Child, we in the land of 2020. Anything is possible around this motherfucker. And these bitches is crazy. Because you know what, though? They was raised by a generation of crazy bitches, too. Right. All these shy bitches running around making more shy bitches. Now you got a lot of side bitches because y'all mingle with the side bitches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think that you know what? So here's my thing. I think that in 2020, and I'm gonna say this, I'm keeping it 100. Side pieces don't know they role no more.
They don't.
First of all, that's the first thing. First of all, you shouldn't be in the role. Okay, that's the whole
right.
thing. But I'm just saying, like
first things first, bitch.
They don't know their
Get the fuck out.
They side pieces trying to play wife roles.
Right.
So if your role is a side piece, then stay over there with that. Don't come and try to interrupt stuff and try to do all. Now, I know a lot of women will say, well, he shouldn't have, and you should have, and it's him. And you're right. You're absolutely right.
But you knew what your role was before you entered in this motherfucking agreement, bitch. So first of all, if you know about me, then I know about your dumb ass too, because you knew what the fuck you were signing up for. So know your role and slow down, Jim Shoe. You know what I'm saying?
And my thing too is like, if you know your role, to play your part. Like, let me tell you, this is for other people's situation, not mine. Okay, I'm just saying. If you with somebody,
we put two asterisks around this quote, and we put this at the preface of the book. The preface. But
I'm gonna tell you something. Now I know people say, and here's my thing. They say, check the man, don't check the wife, and it's his responsibility. Now here's my thing. This is my opinion. I don't care. I go to hell with it. But I'm gonna tell you, if you knew about me,
right,
and you still chose to engage, then you are just as guilty as he is. And so that means that now, am I gonna check him? Absolutely, he gonna get it full throttle, 100%.
But don't worry about what's going on over here. That's what you got. That's your problem now. You worried about what's going on over here.
And then you have the audacity to be disrespectful. Let me tell you something, okay? We don't do that. Now, if you say,
do you know who I am, bitch?
Like, now here, okay, boyfriend, no, okay. Even fiance, I ain't doing it. But a husband, somebody you done invested in, any woman, any wife who has been married for a significant period of time understands the work that it takes to be married.
Hello.
And understands the stress and the level of commitment and all of that.
And the energy.
And the energy. So that's not going down without a fight.
No. Because I work for this. This is an investment, bitch. Do you know time is money? Do you know how much time I put into this shit?
And seriously. It's not as simple as going your separate ways. You know what I'm saying? No. When you're married, there's a lot of things that go into play with this.
Yeah.
bills, mortgages, kids, family. Like,
it's always just a piece of paper till the lawyers got to get involved, right?
Exactly. Now, here's what I will say. Now, don't get me wrong. He gonna get it for a throttle, and that's a different situation. But my thing is like, okay, if you say, sis, you know what? I ain't know about you.
Right.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
played me. He played you. Right.
He played the both of us. You know what? Go and get your walking paper, sis. I ain't even mad at
Right.
you on battle. But if you like, girl, he love me, and
you a co-conspirator, bitch. Right. Listen.
Except crime, you are guilty as charged. We're not doing it. So
you are accessory to a crime.
Yes, I know some of y'all may agree or disagree. Let me know. So if y'all agree or disagree, let us know, because I want to know y'all thoughts. I might be off on this one. I'm just saying.
I'm just trying. Maybe the input should be, where do y'all think these bitches is getting the audacity? Where does all this audacity come from? I'm not sure. All the audacity was not bestowed upon me. So I'm not sure where the audacity is being accepted from. But
I'm just saying, if you think in the 90s, I'm just saying, like, if you go back to the 90s, even early 2000s, like, you know, if you was a side piece.
It's social media. We got more access to see it now. They got proof. They got the screenshots. They used to, you had to record somebody talking on the voicemail.
Yes. Shannon, thank you. I see you said you completely agree. Thank you. I need to know that I'm not alone. I know people in the world be like, girl, I would never say nothing to another woman. The devil is a liar. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. Now, I'm not going to play Now, I do think that there's a level of staying on your throne. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't go looking for things. I'm not going to come off my throne for you. And I know that sounds very arrogant and very, like, cocky-ish.
No.
But I'm not coming off my throne for you.
That goes back to the know your role, right? You know your role, and that is what it is, bitch.
Yes.
Like, there's levels to this shit.
But if you come in my kingdom, if you come in my kingdom,
off with the head.
Off with your head. Yes, I'm going to treat you like the jester. You're the clown. You're the clown. And if you're not funny and I'm not entertained, then it's off with your head.
Look, Crystal, Chanel said they get the audacity from the dude they cheating with.
That's true.
She ain't lied, because they sure do pump a raggedy bitch head up, don't they?
Hell no. You know, so right. You so right, because them dudes sure be beefing them girls' heads up. And they be like, girl, this woman, she's the worst person in the world. I'm going to leave her tomorrow. And
you know the best one, the best Grammy, or not Grammy, because they don't do Grammys in movies, but the Oscar award go to, you know I'm going to leave her for you, right? Bitch, shut the fuck up. Sit your ugly ass down somewhere. What do you mean?
She'd be like, please.
Look, put the phone down. Like, I ain't even gonna say nothing about this. This is the dumbest shit I ever seen in my motherfucking life. Hell no.
It was a Facebook post. I think it was a Facebook meme that was like, you think you winning, but you can have him. You don't even know that he a little dysfunctional, halfway retarded.
Good news is, bitch, he draws $763 a month on Social Security.
Yes. You don't even know. You don't even know what you're dealing with. You don't know what you're asking for. So a lot of times they win it. It's like, girl, you didn't know you just got you a whole.
Did you know he reads at a second grade level? I'm not sure if you're aware of that or not.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like, you know, if you want to play that part, just know what you're playing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And stay in your lane. Now,
and don't be mad when you figure out what the fuck you got.
Exactly.
Period. You know who is Desiree?
That's all.
You know Desiree?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, how you doing? But that's the thing, you know. But anyway, girl. I know we talking, girl. We look, we cutting up now.
Listen.
I think that the Hennessy that kicked in for both of us.
Let me get back. Wait, Crystal.
I gotta remember. Okay, you're on live, girl. This is not our personal conversation. I can't release all my feelings like that. But,
oh shit, it's people watching.
Right, but no, I think in relationships though, and this, I know we joking and we laughing about it, but I do think that at the end of the day, when you're with somebody, you know, y'all need to really have that level of open communication. And my biggest thing is, you know, just tell me what it is. You know, if you're not feeling it, if something has changed, or if you feel like you need to do other things, just keep it 100. Because you know what? I might feel the same way. Who knows?
That is so hard though, G. Like, I don't understand why you cannot get that out of people. For me, it's easy to understand because I told you my give a fuck is kind of malfunctioning at this point in my life. But I don't know why that is so hard. Just sometimes it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I think, I think if you're okay, just stays okay for a long period of time, then that's the point where you need to like really reevaluate life and make sure that you're in the right situation, because you don't want to look back. That's my biggest fear. I never want to look back on life and be like, man, I shoulda, coulda, woulda type thing. I should, you see them people that they've been married for 35 years. Like, I should have left you back in 1922. Like,
gee, I tell you, my grandma used to tell my granddaddy, I hate you. I should have married my cousin. Now you wait a motherfucking minute. I'm not sure what Tennessee the fuck is going on right now. But I don't think that's really what you meant. But, at the same time, I was like, damn, she hate him like that? Shit, I don't want that.
But like, let me say this though. Let me do it on the flip side. I think that there's some really good men out there too, and I think that sometimes a lot of men get a bad rep because there are some bad women out there. You know what I'm saying? Right. So at the end of the day, my philosophy is just be the best person that you can be. And that's one thing I will say. No matter where I am in life, married, single, whatever, I've always been like, okay, I'm never gonna lose sight of who I am and what I'm working towards in this life. Like nobody's gonna take my hustle away from me. That's a gift. That's one thing you need to know before engaging with me. Nobody's gonna take my hustle away.
And anybody that is close enough to you to care about you enough on a personal level should know that that's a heavy part of you and would not want you to change that.
I think the other thing is too is like just setting boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Like I think me and Michael, we went into it like, hey, listen, this is what I can deal with, and this is what I cannot deal with, and being transparent about that. Like, these are my deal breakers. This is what is not going to work. And so I think what happens a lot of times with women is that we like to put on this mask that we can do anything and everything, and we'll be fine no matter what happens in life. And as long as we have love, we have each other. And in reality, that's not the truth, because if anybody who's been with somebody for a long time, that you have set boundaries with any relationship that you're in, and you have to make sure that person understands that I will hold you to that. If you as you should. If you violate that, then that is grounds for reevaluating the status of what we're doing here. Like, period. So I think I feel you. Even like I look at people, and this is like, I get the whole they call them pick me women or pick me wives, where it's like you want to cook for them every day, you want to clean for them every day, you push your face beat every day. Stop doing that. Let me tell you, most time I don't even like you like that, for real. So let's be real on the real talk, because most days, like, I don't even like you like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna need you to keep it real, and this is who the fuck I am. I'm not saying that you shouldn't put any energy into being a better person, but in general, like, we can make ourselves better, and you know what I mean, change certain facets of our lives. But in general, this is who I am. You know what I mean? And it's either that or you can't change the foundation. You know what I mean? Help you at that point too, right? Because like like when you're with somebody and you're living with them, you're waking up to them, you're going to sleep to them. Every day is not going to be perfect. I'm not cooking every day. You know why? Because I work hard as hell and I'm tired. I'm not beating my face every day because I don't like wearing makeup like that. You will wake up and see I have
this booger that I've been holding in my left nostril for 4 days, and bitch, I might have put it in my sleep, bitch. I don't know what I did.
And that's the thing. What happens is, like, a lot of times women, we go into relationships with this mask of who we are. And then what happens is, once you realize you can't really maintain that for the long term in a relationship, and now the real you is starting to show, and he's starting to see all of that, and then now he's like, he feels jaded or he feels bamboozled because he's like, damn, I didn't even know this was the real you. I didn't know you had an attitude.
And then his wall go up, right?
Yeah.
And then both of y'all talking to a wall. Ain't that a motherfucker?
And that's the thing, like, I just feel like go into these relationships being authentically yourself. You know what I'm saying? Now, that doesn't mean you can't dress up nice for your man. That doesn't mean you can't do your hair and fix your makeup. But just be realistic about who you are and be genuine to who you are as a person. Because if you're
be okay with that,
it's going to be hard.
And be okay with that. Like, know that it's okay. Like, if you ever have to feel like you have to change the basis of who you truly
Yeah.
are, that's not the right situation to be in.
Yep.
Like, you have to be okay. Like I said, you can change different aspects of yourself, or you know what I mean, okay, characteristics or whatever. But the basis of who you are, if you cannot truly be exactly who you are and not have to feel vulnerable, not have
Right.
to feel out in the open, or what if I fuck up, or what if I make a mistake? If you can't feel truly in your habitat, in
Yes.
yourself, that's not, this ain't that. It's not
And
right.
I can tell you too, Michael knows the ugliest sides of me. Shit,
Right,
period. Like, and when I say the ugliest, I mean the absolute ugliest sides of me.
right,
The things that I want him to see, the things that I probably would not want him to see, and the things that I
right,
just don't even know to see. And
right,
with that, that when you get to that level of exposure to somebody, that to me is when the real relationship begins, because you have
right.
to be able to, like, it's everything is cute when you dating, and everything is cute when you can still keep your mask on, and he
That's
only
all
come over on
superficial, though.
Tuesdays, right? He only
Right,
come over on Tuesdays so you can clean your house up on Tuesday, so he can think you keep everything
right,
perfect. But the relationship and the real work in the relationship don't come until y'all have been through some stuff, y'all have
right,
tested each other, y'all have experienced, things that were between y'all and even outside things, and y'all have still been able to move forward.
right.
So Chanel said some women can bring out the worst in men, and another may bring out the good. It's somebody for everybody. That's
She ain't
true.
lying. That's that energy, though, G.
Yeah.
Like, and like I read a lot about like empaths and all this other stuff. So, and that is like so true for myself. Like, I absorb energy. Not only do I absorb energy, but I also reflect energy. So I'm pretty much gonna give you what I'm feeling off of you. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I don't have the trust level to not give you what I feel off of you.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't have the trust level for benefit of the doubt over my energy. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I definitely feel what she's saying, because she ain't lied. One person can do exactly the exact same things for you, but then this other, and it not be good enough, right? But then this other person comes through and does the same ABC for you, but it's that person and it's
It
that
works.
energy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's just that person. So I
And
can definitely, I
And
agree.
that's women have to like realize that a man ain't gonna be ready until he ready. And you can be the
Right,
best woman, you could be cooking, cleaning, uh, being Miss Jackson and doing all those
right.
things. If he ain't ready, he ain't ready, sis. And
Yeah,
you just got that, you have to recognize that and do what you need to do to move
yeah.
accordingly. You know what I'm saying? But that
And
doesn't
be
mean,
okay with it not being you.
yep,
You know what I
yep,
mean? And being okay
yep,
with that. That's a lot of things too that hold us back, is that's the competition part. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's okay. And
yep,
sometimes it don't have to be knocked down, drag out for it just
right.
not to be. Like, it just ain't. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it just is what it is.
And I mean that there's some people that are good people. Like, it's just you're a good
Right.
person, I'm a good person, but we just ain't it. And
Right.
that doesn't mean that I'm less of a woman because I'm not it for you. It just means that I'm not
Right.
it for you. And you have
Right.
to get to a level of peace within yourself to recognize that I'm still valuable to somebody. But
That's right.
however, you were not the person that God intended to go the
It
long
didn't
haul.
fit.
Yep.
The puzzle wasn't the right
Yep.
piece. There's nothing wrong with that. And that doesn't mean that it has to be on bad terms, and that doesn't mean that you know what I mean? It just means it is what it is. And as adults at a certain age, we should be grown enough and comfortable enough and happy within ourselves
Yep.
enough to
Yep.
understand that that's okay. Just because you don't fit don't mean I don't fit myself enough to get me to where I want to be if I want to be with somebody else. You know what I mean?
I I agree. And that's a hard one. Like, I think you have to have a level of maturity to get to that
Yeah.
place. Because I mean, don't get my business some relationships, and it's like, oh, why that be? And
Right.
you get the crying, and you second guessing yourself, and you done changed your walk because of that relationship. But then as I got older, and then I really started to learn more about who I was and the beauty of who I am and the power within who I am, it was like, oh, okay, now I get why you didn't last.
Right.
Oh, I get it now.
It makes
Right.
sense now.
Right.
Thank God. Right?
Right, they're not. And you look at some of those relationships, and it's not that the other people, the person was bad, and this is not directed towards anybody, but I'm just saying, you look at those relationships, like, okay, I get it now, and
Yeah.
they
It's
can be
full circle.
happy, they can be progressing, their life can be fulfilling to them, but it's just like, I get why we weren't meant to go the long distance.
That's because when it's the energy is not right, it's a weight.
Yeah,
It's not energy anymore. It's a weight. So you can literally physically breathe
yeah,
easier
yeah.
when you release that energy. You know what I mean? You can be
I,
tied down.
and that's hard because I think releasing is probably one of the hardest things that a
Mhm.
woman can do. I think
Yes.
sometimes people like, a lot of people think it's strength and staying the course and standing by your man and being a ride or
That
die.
shit will
Like, no,
fuck you up
that shit will kill.
hard.
It will kill you.
Yes.
If you don't grab a hold of it fast enough, that will
Yes.
kill you. And so
It will
I've
kill
learned,
you.
like, no, you have to learn when to just let it go.
And I
And
also would like to say, and I know this is kind of understood, so I don't know that I necessarily have to say this, but I would like to say that I'm not an advice giver, right? I'm here
right,
because of my experiences in my life that have
right,
led me to these
right,
understandings of life. I'm not here to say that anybody, for going through anything that they're going through in their life, for going through bullshit, for having obstacles. I'm not saying that we all go through the shit, right? I'm
right.
not saying that you are less of or stupid or whatever, because bitch, I've been
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I've been I've been that motherfucker a few times. You know what I mean?
Your own
So
stupid.
right. So I ain't here to say nothing about if you like it, baby, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking from my personal aspect where I am at my point in my life and with what I've been through.
But I think that that's where the wisdom comes from. Like, there's people that can have all the, education and credentials behind it, but nothing teaches you like life experiences.
Man,
And I think that with every relationship that I have, like at this point in my life, I'm so healed from it that I can just see the beauty and the blessing
right,
behind why the experience occurred. And like me personally, like I have no issues with anybody from my past. Like nobody,
right.
female,
I
male,
agree.
nobody. I have no issues because I've learned to be at peace with who I am, and I
Right.
understand why they were brought into my life and the
Yep,
lessons I was supposed to learn from them
that's right.
being a part of my life. And so that in itself releases you from a lot of
Yes,
stuff. And I
it
think a lot
does.
of times women get caught up in the being angry part of it and the resentment part of it, that they don't ever get to the place of healing and understanding. But
Yep,
by the grace of God, I've been
yep.
able to say, okay, I get why we didn't last. I'm okay with it. I moved on from it. I learned my lesson so that I
Yes.
don't repeat the pattern, but
It's
I'm
like a
moving.
That's So Raven
Yeah,
moment. Remember when she would be like, what the fuck? And you like, damn, bitch, I ain't never noticed that shit before.
yeah,
Damn. That's
yeah.
for real. Like, literally, that's that
Yes,
shit.
yes.
Hell no.
Well, I don't know if you have more to talk about, but I know we've been on here for an hour and a half. How you feeling?
A little drunk.
Yeah, yeah.
Just a little
Okay.
bit, you know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, I think that I think it's good for women to know. Like, these women have had good input. I feel like it's good to know that women are here to hear you
Yeah,
as well as to stand with you. You know what I mean? If we stand, we can't demand for other people to treat us a certain way if we don't even treat ourselves a
right.
certain way. You know what I
I,
mean? We can't demand for men to hold us on a pedestal or do this for us or do that for us when we out here like, bitch, ill. You know what I mean? Like, we
yeah.
can't do that.
And
So,
I think in a world like in a society that we live in now, we need the strength of other women to pull us together. And
yes.
we can't afford to be disconnected with each
Right.
other. So we have too much at risk and too much to lose by us fighting with each other. And we have to
Yeah.
really understand the bigger battle that we're fighting, and it's not with each other.
I would agree. And you know what? As mothers in the day and age that we're living in, we definitely need each other
Yeah.
because, like, our children, they're up for some crazy shit, right? So, like, as mothers, not only women, but as mothers, I feel like we definitely need to stick together because shit's crazy out
Yeah.
here. And you never know You know what I mean? When you're going to be the mother in need, or when you're going to be the mother that, you know what I mean, doesn't have anybody or needs to reach out or whatever. So I feel like we definitely need to be there. Not necessarily as, you know, everyone's emotional cushion, but if we all take a little bit of the weight, all the weight isn't on one person.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree.
So
You're so right. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed us and enjoyed our live.
I
Man,
had fun.
I did too. Like I feel good. Like I don't know about everybody else. You know, my little anything is possible is
Baby,
kicking in, so I'm feeling good.
and
I
you
can
got my
probably
lip sweating.
right.
Just let me.
But I mean, it's Saturday. We didn't have long weeks. We deserve a little
You ain't
mommy
lying. And it's a
time.
long weekend. Can the
Yeah,
church get an amen
thank you.
on that
God.
one?
Yes.
Woo, Lord.
Well, I guess
But
we will wrap it up for today, and we might circle
we're
back
gonna
around.
be doing this again
Yeah.
though. So y'all be on the lookout
Yeah.
because I think that these little talks are nice.
Yes.
We're definitely hang on, wait.
Uh-oh.
Chanel got a little comment. Let's see.
Okay, I hear
She
you.
says, so let's go back. Let's go back to what you said, Whitney. All right. Like after you've been through it all and been broken, have had insecurities because of past relationship and talked down to and all that, you finally get the person that loves you for knowing that you have flaws. A person that knows you, been a toxic person before. Let's see. Hang on, I just scrolled and I lost my damn place. God damn it.
It's a person
Um,
that knows you,
where we at?
been with a toxic person before, know you may be damaged, but says, I'm
There we go.
okay with that. You just need to be loved the right way. A person that feels you, a person that feel you perfect for them, and they all you've been missing, that fights for you and worships the ground you on, but you're scared to let them all the way in your way because the saying hurt people hurt other people. Don't
Right.
what you don't or wasn't willing to risk or lose the person that is probably meant for you, someone that is willing to help build you back up. So that's a lot.
That's some deep ass shit.
Here's okay, sis Chanel.
Yeah.
This is my thought. I don't know the whole situation, but based on what you're saying, what it feels like you're saying is that you've been through some stuff with somebody and now you're in a space where you're trying to work on being loved again and allowing somebody else or maybe that same person to love you, but you know that you're hurt and you know that you're not healed. I think for me that's a good one because I think as women we do that a lot. But what I think where we go wrong is that we don't allow ourselves time to heal from the hurt that we've already had before we're jumping into new situations or back into old situations that we've had in the past. Because when you are truly healed, you are able to love again freely. You may be wiser and you may be smarter, but you are able to love again and you're able to have some level of vulnerability with that person. And if you know that you're not able to give that to the next person or the person that you're with, then you need to take a step back and allow yourself to heal from that first. Because if
I think
not, you are hurt people will hurt people.
a lot of it comes beyond that though, like understanding what exactly it is that hurt, because a lot of things are not cut and dry, right? So understanding
Right.
exactly what it is that truly hurt you, and not only what it is that hurt you, but what if you could turn the situation around, what would you change about it to where you would feel differently about it? So you got to understand not only the actions that hurt you, but how you process those feelings, right? And how you come upon why you feel the way you do, or how you plan on not allowing that to happen again. But I can also say that even though hurt people, I also think that damaged people protect people as well. So I think that we've all been through our shit before. We all have our shit that's happened to us. So you go from a toxic person that's hurt you, that's done fucked up shit to you, to a person that has been through fucked up shit and has been damaged before. Both of you are on the men's, you know what I mean, in your own world. But I think that also seeing each other allow each other to be in your space together builds more of a trust level, because I know what you've been through, and I see that you've given me a chance. And you know what I've been through, but you see that I've been giving you a chance. So we building our own trust together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then you risk the thought of the constant what ifs interfering with your daily life as well. You know what I mean?
But you know what? I think that's a touchy subject though too, because it's almost like, and I know I'm gonna say this, and it's even like I know I'm contradicting my own self, but it's almost like the blind leading the blind to a certain
Yeah.
extent. Sometimes when you are hurt or you are damaged or you are not fully whole, you can't really guide someone into a healthy relationship because
I
you
agree.
aren't in capacity to give that to that person. And
Right.
so like and now if you do decide to do that, it's possible to do it. So I'm not saying it's impossible to do it.
Right.
But if you do decide to engage in a relationship knowing that you're not whole and knowing that you're not healed, go into that relationship with the understanding that you're up for a challenge and that it's
Right.
not going to be easy and
On
that there's
both sides.
obstacles as you
Right.
work through this. And I'll tell you the truth, it's like counseling is your friend. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like I'm a firm
And you know
believer.
what? That's another stigma, though, that we got to get over, too, is that it's okay, like, not to be okay, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has their shit. Everybody has their moments. Everybody has their things they can deal with themselves, and everybody has their things that they cannot deal with themselves. And it is
Yeah.
okay to seek outside help. If you had
Yeah.
the flu, you wouldn't go through it by yourself because you know it's somebody that can help your ass. You know what I mean? Mental health is no different. Mental health is no different. And there's nothing wrong with asking for help. There's nothing wrong with
And
asking for help.
sometimes you don't even realize how deep your issues go until you go into therapy.
Yes.
Like for me, you know, especially as women, we be in denial. Like I know I was in
Yep.
denial. I'm like, you are the problem. The reason why I act this way is because of you, and it's your fault. And if you hadn't done
Also,
X, Y, and Z,
ladies,
I would have
if
been
you
this
can
way.
find a friend that has a good therapist, just have her as your friend. And then you don't really have to have your therapist, because then she tell you all the methods that she learned from her therapist, and then you don't have to go to your therapist.
That's your say. You got $100 on your insurance by going to the doctor. But that's the truth. You know, I think that we have to really peel back the layers, because a lot of the reasons why we get into these dysfunctional relationships or allow these dysfunctional relationships to go on as long as they do is because we have some things that we got to work out in ourselves. Because you know,
Right.
sis, if you know your worth, and your standards are high, you ain't gonna take a lot of stuff. And that don't
Right.
mean that you ain't willing to deal with something, but your
Right.
standards are going to be a little bit
There's a
different.
base, though.
So who
Right.
you are. Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
minimum requirement here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
And that's and like I say, and on the same note too, trust your instincts. You know, like you probably in that first relationship, you knew it was some signs that you just was oblivious to, and you just kept moving past.
Child,
Listen,
you ever took a minute to look back and be like, do you look at yourself in the mirror like,
well,
the
yeah,
fuck is wrong with
yeah.
you? What is wrong with you?
Trust your instincts. So in that
Girl.
new relationship, or when you go back, if you decide to go back into that old relationship, and something just don't feel right, or you feel like you can't fully connect with him,
Because
or
you've
it's just
been here
something,
before,
because
right?
right,
Oh, I seen this shit
yeah,
before. I
trust
know what
your
this is.
instincts. Hey,
Yep.
maybe it don't feel right because it ain't right, or maybe he giving you that old man,
Right.
that last dude vibe, and
Right.
you know the signs already, you
I'm
know, and so
shooting
you got
first
to
and asking questions later. Listen.
listen. Now, and I do think that when you decide to engage in a relationship with somebody new, you do have to give them a fair shot, and you can't go into it with the idea that they could be the same person. But
Fair shot has its
yeah,
distance, right?
yeah,
Okay. I'm just saying, you can't, like, say it's a fair shot, but you shooting behind you. Like, what the fuck is this
right.
shit? I'm not sure. This is not what the fuck we agreed upon.
Yes. Chanel, I see you, sis. You said, yes, help empower a woman, boost her self esteem, shut down negativity, be open and honest, become a mentor, lead by example, support women businesses, know your own worth, fight against injustice, support
Yes.
organizations that empower women. Thank you, ladies, for this podcast. As much. Yes, girl, you are so right. Everything you say, hold on. I'm gonna like that because I
But
believe
listen,
that you are spot
the
on.
crazy part about all of this, and I totally agree with all of that. Like, I agree with all of that. But the crazy part for my brain to grab is, how is all that shit not natural to motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how is this not normal shit
Yeah.
for people? I don't understand where the disconnect. You know what I mean?
Because,
Where does it stop?
but I think it's because it's so much like people are like we are dealing with a hurting people. And so because we're hurting so bad, our perceptions and understanding is so distorted because we're looking through everything with the lens of hurt. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so I think until we can heal and start the healing process, it's always going to be that issue. And so it takes for open conversations like this to like really lay it out on the table and just
Right.
say, hey, listen, I know I'm not perfect. I know I'm looking at things the wrong way, but I need to understand what that is and why that is so that I
Right.
can do something different, you know?
Man, we got to do better, G.
Yeah.
And even if it's on like your own like superficial level, like just the people that are directly around you, like shit spreads. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
if people see, and that's the thing too, as we talked about before, is with the whole competition and stuff. Okay, so how do we address it, right? So then,
Right.
okay, so I'm gonna start stepping out. And I'm gonna start, hey girl, how you doing? Let me hype you up. You know what I mean? You the shit. Okay,
Right.
cool. Now they looking at me, not that I give a fuck, but I'm just saying this is the process, right? Now I'm
Right.
fake. Now I'm two-faced. Now
But you know
you know
what?
what I mean?
Here's my
I
thing.
don't give a fuck
Right.
personally myself, but I'm just saying that's how the cycle. Like, okay, we screaming unity and we all in this together and all this bullshit, but then when we stick together, then it's, oh, look at this bitch. She fake as hell. You know, what the fuck does she think
But
she doing?
sometimes,
Who does she
like,
think she is?
here's my thing. And this is something my daddy taught me. I'm not gonna let nobody dictate me being me.
I
So
agree.
me, if I'm saying, "Hey sis, how you doing?" Like first of all, I'm an introverted person, so if I say, "Hey sister," you better take it because I meant it.
Right.
Like
Bitch, I
you know,
said, hey, sis.
exactly. You better love it and accept it. But I think the thing about it though is that if they don't take it, then that's their battle to fight within themselves.
Right.
I'm gonna continue to be me at the end of the day. If I see you got on a nice outfit or I see your hair looks cute, oh girl, you look so cute today. I like your hair. Who did that? Or if
Right.
I see you trying or whatever, I'm like, good job, sis. Keep pushing. That's
Right.
just naturally me. That's not gonna change because your attitude stank. Now, if your attitude stank, I might not say it again.
Hello.
But
Because
I
I
will
ain't,
say
you lucky I said it the first time, you
right.
raggedy motherfucker.
But I will say it the first time because to me, when you say, hey sis, that's like a level of establishing a relationship of I see you, girl, or
Right.
hey, ain't no harm here. Look, I got my hands up. I come
That's
in peace.
some,
Yeah. And if
right.
you're in such a place where you can't receive that, then that means that you got to
That's
work
on
that out
you.
within you, and I ain't got nothing to do
Right.
with me. So,
I feel
but
you.
that's that. I don't know.
Girl,
That's my
maybe
thought.
we got to stop burning bridges. You know,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
burn bridges, these imaginary bridges that haven't even been established yet, but we still burn bridges. You know what I mean? Even if it's your own mental
Right.
bridges within yourself. So
Right. And then
we
we'll
going to
get
work on it though.
there. We'll get
Yeah.
there. I mean, I just think it just has to be intentional. I think
Right.
that's the thing. Like relationships aren't built just carelessly. It has to
Right.
be intentionally built. And so as long as we have intentions to build these relationships, we'll get there. So.
Right. Each one teach one.
All right. Well, I think that's our time. We did this
I
for
think
an
it's our time.
hour and 47 minutes.
Woo,
So,
chat.
Chanel,
Lord, did
look,
nobody
I
tell me
feel them.
nothing. Nobody tell me nothing.
Wait, Chanel she said, what do you do if you have a child by the toxic person, but they don't want to see you with anyone but them? Oh, let me hold on, let me say
Oh,
something. You
Crystal,
are
I don't know if she know.
okay.
I don't know if she know the monster she poking with this question. I don't know if she know.
It says you are openly okay with the fact that you don't want them and they moved on, but they just do whatever to make it like it's a problem. You moved on. Can't have you beg to creep with you, just don't want to accept you, don't want them on no level but to be cordial or a parenting level. To me it's becoming to be toxic for my child to the point I don't want dude around because he's not making nothing about the child or caring for his well-being.
Can I?
It's
Can I?
natural for us to empower because people in our is competition. Everyone is for themselves.
No, you good, Chanel. I see you saying you done asking questions, but baby, you done poked the dragon on this motherfucker right here because I felt that one on my inside. My little small intestine was like, bitch, you know you feel it. I know you feel it. I feel it, bitch. I felt all that. Let me tell you. Let me speak on my behalf on this one. Strictly from a personal level, I am not here to give advice, and I do not hold any accountability upon any actions you take due to the words that come out of my mouth. Fuck him. Girl, listen. And that's just that. Listen, I have 4 children. I have 3 baby daddies. The last 2 are by one man who I was married to for 12 years. When I tell you my cutoff game, it go from 100 to 0 real quick. Like, I was, anybody that knew me in them days knew what I was about. Anybody that knew Whitney in the era of '07 to 2018, y'all already knew where I stood on that spectrum of retardization. All right? But I tell you, when that line that I drew in the sand that started off really close to me but ended off on the other beach across the water, that line, when it finally was crossed, I cut all ties. I never went out on my way to keep my children from him, but also removed myself from the situation, which also in turn removed any want to that he had to do with his children, because it was never about his children. It was always about me. And that's what it sounds like this little comment is about.
Yeah.
If he can't be with you, he don't want to talk to the kids. So all I say, I never changed my phone number. I blocked him a couple times, but then I unblocked him, so it really don't count all the way. So I just, you got to let them cards fall where they may. And my thing is, I ain't forcing nobody, not a soul, to be around my kids. Oh, bitch.
You froze. Uh-oh, she froze. You there? I guess this is what I would say. I think so. I think she froze. I'm gonna let her system